Should you fap to Final Fantasy XIV? Oh, what the f? Is this appropriate for stream? Oh my. Should you fap to Final Fantasy XIV? Is this like a series they do? How does this work? It's fine. All right, let's see what this is about. I'm scared, but...
Hey. Yo. Been playing a lot of Final Fantasy XIV lately.
I just didn't ask.
Yeah, you know, it's pretty good. Been thinking about maybe making some sort of review on it. You know, just a collection of my thoughts, put it up on the channel. I think that could be pretty good.
What are you gonna call it? Final Fantasy XIV review? Come on, no one's gonna click on that. You gotta think of a unique approach if you're gonna do this.
I like that accent. It's quiet.
Here's a quirky little fact about myself. I've been playing World of Warcraft since I was 8 years old.
Is that still quiet?
Through that game, I've had some truly great and unforgettable experiences. Made online friends I still talk to 10 years later. Got cutting edge twice. Even went to a guild gathering in London to meet the people from my raid team. And a slew of other things which has made this game so special to me over the years. Recently, however, it's been rather unanimously agreed upon that the game's sort of taken a turn for the worse. To the point where the most anticipated piece of content in recent memory was literally just them undoing 17 years of updates. And so for their newest expansion, Shadowlands, Blizzard rethought their plan and reallocated a large amount of their resources to provide the best possible experience.
It seems like a hard life to be a World of Warcraft fan.
Spending your entire game budget on in-house lactation chambers, surveillance cameras for the female bathroom, and a giant framed picture of Bill Cosby, look it up, doesn't really make the game any better. And so through a mix of the employees being a bunch of party rockers and the game just kind of being shit, not only did a large percentage of WoW players quit, but it's gotten so bad that majority of World of Warcraft content creators, people who have their livelihood and financial stability tied to WoW, decided that potentially being thrown out on the street is preferable to playing the game. And no matter where you look in the community as of late, all you hear is just "Hola bola, it's preacher." Game's kinda shit at the moment, yeah? Hey guys,
we're quitting WoW.
Here. I just wanted to let you all know that I'm quitting the game. Well, you know, I just don't think that WoW's in a very good spot right now, with the various systems and internal affairs really coming together to just make it a not fun experience to boot up the game. Definitely, absolutely. And the worst part is that we have no idea how much blade, Michael. It thirsts. It hungers for blood. Mr. Madsen, people
what is happening? Dude, I feel like I would understand this better if I was a WoW bitch, but I don't know what is going on. Can I spoil World of Warcraft? Yes.
Allegations of gender discrimination are coming out by the hour. One woman even killed herself after the company's treatment of her. Please say something in your defense.
Oh boy, that's not good. Oh yeah, no, wait, I have an idea.
Oh, what?
Sometimes, whenever you've done something wrong, there's nothing you can do but just offer a genuine apology.
Sorry for party rocking.
But when the company's on fire, the employees are too busy molesting their female coworkers to do anything about it, and the game is so bad that even Aspengold doesn't want to play it. Where do a metric shit ton of WoW players go?
Final Fantasy XIV.
Well, Final Fantasy, apparently. Final Fantasy XIV is an MMORPG originally released in 2010 and was, upon release, notoriously a shit game. So to fix it up, developer Square Enix called in game director Yoshi P, and fix it he did.
The king Yoshi P!
The entire game from the ground up by making a Realm Reborn. After which he kept spearheading expansions for the game, each of which somehow always turned out better than the last. And this has culminated in the game now having a 10-year backlog of both story and content for any new player to explore. And excited at the prospect of throwing away over 300 hours of my life, I gathered a few of my friends and we got ready to set out. But before we start our journey through Eorzea, we first need to make our characters. And as any seasoned MMO player will tell you, there are a grand total of 2 ways to go about this. You either sit down and meticulously craft an idealized version of yourself, someone you can look at and think, this is a reflection of myself and what I want to be in this game, which then further allows you to get engaged in the story and feel the various narrative beats on a more personal level, as you can fully immerse yourself in the fantasy of living in the world that you're playing in. Or you make the character you want to f the most. Obviously, we all
make the character you want to f the most. Sounds accurate.
Really just some for
I want to f me.
Personally, I play Mikate because I recently finished up Nekopara. Mark plays a Rogadent because he keeps catcalling female bodybuilders in hopes that they'll punch him in the face. Peer plays an Aura because he shops at Bad Dragon.
The dream. A man of taste.
Yeah, let's not get too into that. But now we've picked our races. We've customized our waifu. Our class has been chosen, meaning we can finally log in. And we get to experience the gameplay.
Hi, Grand Vic. Also, hi Rachel. What's up, guys? Welcome in. Welcome back. See, Dark Mage. Wait, what is that? What class is that?
It's kind of shit. Okay, so let me just clarify quick. There are some genuinely interesting mechanics and complex rotations.
Yeah, Black Mage, that's what I meant to say.
Once you get to the end game.
Rachel, thank you for the sub. Thank you so much.
And with the skill ceiling to boot, so you always feel like there's something you can improve upon on any given boss. And I think a nice example of this can be found in just looking at the player data or logs from the most recent raid. Here we find that the absolute worst DPS in the game you can potentially bring along with you is a Black Mage. However, if you go and look at the top of the meters for the very best players, the class with the highest potential output is a Black Mage. And this ability to become better at your class and abuse its mechanics to the utmost to just do some absolutely nutty stuff really is what makes something as mundane seeming as tap targeting work as a combat system. But that's all in the end game.
Remember when I almost chose Black Mage?
The entire 300-hour story, most of which you're way below max level for. And in terms of gameplay, it is... it is not good. The game doesn't just assume that this is your first time playing an MMO, it treats you as though you've never touched a computer before in your life. Let's take the Lancer as an example. You start with True Thrust at level 1, then at level 4 you
Black
learn
Mage.
Thrust,
Hi Max, what's up?
Meaning you now have a
Didn't someone start as Black Mage? I totally did, and then Ponto was like,
the next two
girl,
abilities
no.
you get that influence your actual
Big
rotation
mistake.
are at level 18 where you get a buff, and level 26 where you get the third hit for your now 1-2-3 combo. After which you hit level 30 and your interesting skills sort of start being drip fed to you at 5 level intervals. But until then, hope you enjoy pressing 1-2 repeatedly while watching Netflix on your secondary monitor, because that's what you're doing for the next 12 hours. And that's even one of the better examples. Try leveling something like a White Mage in solo content. Aside from your dot, you have one damaging ability. Did you get your second?
Oh,
no. Okay, I guess
White
technically
Mages.
you get Holy at level 45, but that's an AoE, and frankly, more of an attack on your 20/20 eyesight than any enemy. Still not convinced? Let me tell you about macros. A macro is a custom button that you can set up to do anything in your inventory.
It's like Black Mage, but not
so if you, for
shitty.
example, want to
I
drink
love being a
potion to
summoner.
increase your
I don't know about
damage whenever
y'all.
you activate your burst, you can make a macro to do so in a single button press. Final Fantasy, however, decided to also let you put a delay into your macros, meaning that you can queue up several abilities with the press of a single button. And combining this with a way too simple early game rotation meant that on my Dark Knight, which was the first character I leveled, until level 62, which is well over 100 hours into the game, mind you, my entire rotation was bound to a single button, meaning my gameplay effectively just ended up looking like this.
You guys can't see his face, but he's very focused right now.
What's up, gentlemen? So today we are talking about the newest addition to the social hierarchy pyramid, which is the elusive Sigma male.
And it's
Oh
sad
my
because
God.
there is some genuinely interesting gameplay to be had once you have your full kit unlocked, but being kept from it for seemingly no reason other than the game just refusing to give you skills before they were canonically introduced in the expansion cycle, like a bad hand job, that rubbed me the wrong way.
What
With
is
said,
that?
though, outside of
A
combat
hand-
and content you'd expect, like dungeons and raids, which all
My
range
God.
from decent to phenomenal outside of like the first three, there's a lot of elements that are just there because they're fun or add flavor, and it's also a big part of what kept me going through the initial stages of the game to get to the actual good stuff later on. A giant casino with chocobo racing and tons of
fuck
minigames,
yeah.
in-game concerts hosted by players, the ability to get married, a collectible and
I need to get
playable
married
card
in the
game
game.
inside
Ponto
game,
doesn't want to get
random jumping
married.
puzzles around the world, fully supported and customizable player housing. None of these have an impact on the actual gameplay,
Like
but people do them anyways because they're just fun or add to the world. Take fishing for example. I have no fucking idea what you use fish for in this game. Genuinely, couldn't tell you at gunpoint. Nevertheless, I'm fishing level 71 and probably have about 10% of my time
Fishing
in
level
spent fishing.
71?
Why? Because it's chill. There's
I have
a little
never
boat
tried
that goes
fishing
out
in
every
this
2
game.
hours with like 24 people, and it's great fun to just go out with my friends and
Bro,
compare penis
I have
size in the form of our
never
fishing score while chatting
fished
shit. One time I
before.
even managed to get 10,000 fish point, and I got a sick shark mouth.
I'm
for
married
it.
to
It's
my
become one
job.
of my favorites
Oh,
for,
how cute.
reasons. And these various systems and types of moments really help make the game feel like a living, breathing world.
You
as
can't marry
opposed to
Ponto
just a
anyway. He's on
glorified dungeon.
Diablo, so you
There's
have to
players
move
everywhere
worlds.
doing stuff, sometimes
I
progressing,
know.
other times just hanging out. Occasionally, he'll stumble upon a location. Only
You guys
discover
need to
that
be on
some
the
guy
same
decides
world to get
throw an
married, yeah.
impromptu boat party there. And at this point, about 200 people have gathered just to have an in-game party for no other reason than the fact it seemed like a cool thing to do, and because real clubs are scary. And the best part is that all these things are available to the average player right off the bat, helping sell them on the world and community as they can jump right into the various systems without having to go
I
through
love
a
partying dying.
handholding session first. And while some like housing might seem a tad expensive at first, trust me, you go sit idle and limsy-lumsy on a female character in a somewhat skimpy attire for a couple hours and respond with a winky face whenever one of those big furry fellows sent you a personal tell, you can easily
Is
make
this
those
actually how it
in about
works?
3 hours of good, honest work. Because as my favorite Twitch streamer always says,
Never stop sucking big dick? Wait, what the fuck? That's not what it said.
and extending a helping hand to new players is not just limited to the erotic roleplay community either. Everyone I've met in this game has actually just been so friendly that initially I thought there was some sort of hidden Reddit karma system coercing them to act this way, but no. For whatever reason, and you'll hear this echoed from basically everyone who's tried the game, the people who play it are just
Maki,
chill and
thank you for
welcoming.
getting a
Whenever I've stood
sub,
in a major
babes.
city and
Welcome
looked at someone for
in.
more than
Hi.
5 seconds, 9 out of 10 times they would stop up,
Have a
give me
One Piece
hug,
theme
and ask
wedding?
me how my
Fuck
day's
yeah.
been. It's almost uncanny how friendly people are in this game, unlike anything I've ever experienced before. And
The people in
honestly,
this
it's
game
just
are the
such
best.
a pleasure having these small interactions littered throughout
Oh my
your
god,
gameplay.
is that
Aren't you
a
just
cat?
describing
Is
people
that
displaying
cat
basic human
Noctis?
decency and not being assholes? Does average human behavior really warrant such praise? Excuse me? Have you ever actually played an online game? Last time I booted up Apex
Guys,
Legends, someone
can I
told
get
me
a
the
shout out
N-word
from
and
Maki,
leaked my
please?
IP
Maki is a
address.
wonderful,
We were
wonderful,
still in the
wonderful
lobby.
streamer.
The hardest part about
Let's complete this video.
League of Legends isn't playing a match, it's finding 4 other people that
God,
are mentally
fuck League
stable
of
enough to
Legends.
stay for the duration of it.
Oh, you're hoping for FanFest? Oh, fuck yeah.
But that's just not a thing in Final Fantasy, as the game's non-competitive nature and years of fostering a genuine community has meant that people are just there to have a good time, and for the most part,
Welcome back,
always like
Stacey.
to
Were you
that
on
sense of community,
vacation?
despite how good or bad
No,
you might-
Lux. I wasn't on vacation. My internet provider decided to not give me internet for 2 weeks.
Heck, for a lot of people, the actual endgame they participate in basically just involves putting on some cute clothes, taking pictures of it, and partaking in the various
Glam.
side systems I mentioned earlier. And I think a large part of the reason the community surrounding Final Fantasy
Oh, in
is
San
so
Diego?
friendly
Oh,
is
fuck yeah, that's gonna be
because
awesome.
the largest and biggest draw of the game isn't anything so competitive as high-level PvP or even endgame PvE content, but rather the story. The story in Final Fantasy XIV is actually just so fucking good. Yoshi P took a pretty big gamble and effectively forced
Oh god, are there spoilers in this shit? The fuck is that? What is that? What is that? What is that? What is that? I'm scared. I'm getting out of that. I'm scared. I don't know if that was a spoiler or not. It looked like it. I don't... Go back. I missed it. What was that? The Rising event from last year? It's not. It was from a seasonal event. My god, it scared me. That scared me. I'm sorry. I just remember in the trailer, the moon was a big thing and I was like, oh, the moon! Oh, that's the Rising event cutscene. Yoshi P shows up to thank the player. Yoshi P shows up to thank the player? Okay, that's good to know. Because I am, you know, okay, good. They gave me a heart attack. Okay, yeah, let's finish this video. Sorry, I panicked. All right, this is where we left off.
Game, which is usually where the focus of an MMO lies, but by God am I glad he did. Everything in the story is just a big interconnected network of events, which keeps bringing up and building upon previous plot points. However, this also means that if you hadn't pushed through the somewhat slower,
Minfilia.
less interesting build-up stories from the base game, a lot of the stuff later on just wouldn't make any sense. And you'd be hard-pressed to find a person who's played through the entire thing and didn't love the absolute shit out of it. But when talking about a time investment this big, it's hard to know whether or not that's because it's actually universally good or because of survivorship bias, or as I like to call it, the One Piece effect. No one has
The
watched
One
every
Piece
single episode
effect?
of One Piece and wouldn't recommend you the show, but
Yep.
is that because it's actually good, or because the only people willing to sit through 1,000 episodes of it are the same ones who liked it in the first place? And it's the same with Final Fantasy. You won't meet a person who's played through the entirety of it and won't gush about the story, myself included, but for the people that never make it that far and just kind of leave with a somewhat lukewarm experience during some of the admittedly worse earlier content, it's hard to say whether or not they would have started to enjoy it had they just stuck with it. And even so, while I think there's some genuinely amazing narrative to be experienced through it, with the latest expansion Shadowbringers
Emmett,
quite literally just
it
being
can't
what I would call
be.
peak fiction, I also can't expect
I miss
everyone to be
Emmett.
as eager as me to waste 2 weeks worth of free time just
Aw,
to start
Moonbreeder.
experiencing it. What I will say though is that when this game tries to deliver a big story moment, I have yet to experience it not absolutely just hit it out of the park, bringing together music, visuals, and even utilizing the shortcomings of the MMO genre itself to its own advantage. For example, during the start of the Heavensward expansion,
Oh, it was released before
spoiler-free,
Endwalker,
Heavensward,
perfect.
by the way, during the start of the Heavensward expansion, you're told about Nidhogg, a great worm who's waged a 1,000-year war with the people of Ishgard, seemingly out of
Hey,
nothing,
Deshaun.
but pure unfounded hatred for mankind, and so being the warrior of light, you set off to kill him. However, as you start making your way towards him, you slowly uncover more pieces of the dragon's past, and learn that rather than some chaotic evil dragon lord, Nidhogg's story is more akin to that of a beautiful and peaceful being, having been utterly consumed by rage after
Nidhogg.
humanity betrayed him and his kin thousands of years ago, in a story forgotten to all but
Remember
them,
when
as the
Estinian
human
was
leaders lured his
obsessed with
sister into an
Nidhogg?
ambush, after which they killed her to take the source of the Great Worm's power, namely, her eyes. And every time you uncover a piece or learn something new in regards to the origin of the dragons, you hear this instrumental track called Dragon Song play in the background.
Dragon
In
Song.
spite of your newfound knowledge regarding
Palestinian
Nidhogg, you
is
find that his
Nidhogg?
rage
I
is
know.
simply too insurmountable to be overcome, and with his soul driving
They became
force being the endless
one.
torment of the Denishing of Ishgard, you
His worst
have to put
nightmare.
him out of his misery. When you finally do battle him, his brute brother Hraesvelgr agrees to help you fight his enraged brother, but while the two fight, it proves that Nidhogg is slightly faster, slightly stronger, and eventually knocks his brother to the ground. However, as he
Shit.
holds him down and declares his victory, Hraesvelgr
Secretly wants to have
reveals his
sex
true
with Nidhogg? What? Do you secretly want to have sex with Nidhogg? It's okay, Chise. The eye.
to offer you one of his eyes in an effort to empower you such that you might take on Nidhogg. A
I
transfer
beg
of
your
power
pardon?
that no
What?
dragon has ever granted a mortal before. And as you walk into his eye, absorbing part of the dragon's essence, you hear that ever familiar tune start to play, but this time, it's different.
Nidhogg ended up inside Estivian. Haha.
There's
It was so
lyrics.
pretty.
Having become one with part of the dragon, you now hear the full meaning of the dragon song, as it blasts in the background and tells the story of not only the betrayal, but also friendship that once was between man and dragon, a bond broken by the humans which twisted Nidhogg into the spiteful being now standing before you. However, despite the fault line elsewhere, you know that he must be put down, and so you stand alert and ready your weapon to fight him. The cutscene ends, and in front of you stands Nidhogg as the lyrical version of the dragon song plays in the background, under the tune of which you now get a solid few minutes to take in what exactly you're about to do, as you wait for the cue to pop for the fight where you can then finally take on Nidhogg and put an end to the dragon song war. Obviously, I'm not doing a 50-hour story justice by rephrasing it in a couple paragraphs, but this is just one moment from the first expansion in which
Chat's
they
gone
managed to not only
sus.
deliver
Nothing
on a big story
usual-
moment, but
unusual.
made the act of queuing up and literally just waiting a part of that experience. Something I've never experienced done before. This is just one such instance in a much grander
Aw,
narrative,
Lena.
total sum of which helps cement Final Fantasy XIV.
I miss
as one of the best
Shadowbringers
stories I've
already,
ever experienced
guys.
in a video game to date.
Shadowbringers made me cry so much. I always say play it. Please, baby, don't mind. You're fine. This is Final Fantasy XIV. We're all degenerates. There aren't
But
any-
should you fap to it? Before I ever booted up Final Fantasy XIV for the first time, I stumbled upon a character from the game named Angelise Ryder, a character who just so happened to have an ungodly amount of, shall we say, adult fan art attached to her name. And seeing this
Goddamn.
2-meter tall ashen-haired Gallian princess get plowed in every position under the sun by various farm animals got me thinking, damn, maybe I should try out Final Fantasy. And so, mostly attributed to my Kuma mentality, I gave the game a shot, only to discover about 300 hours of playtime later that Angelise Ryder is in fact not a character in the lore, but rather someone so see who's commissioned several hundred pieces of hentai of her. You heard that right.
Oh my
The reason
god.
I started playing this game was to meet a character that doesn't exist in the canon. Nevertheless, I ended up having a pretty good time with it anyways, and meeting a ton of actual canon characters on the way, each of which turned out to have a very similar Rule 34 count to that of Best Girl Angelise. I also found that one of my favorite artists, Devil HS, has made not one, but 2 full-length comics centered around the game, both of which I must confess
I wanna
enjoying
read some
quite a
Final
bit.
Fantasy
And fan
XIV
reactions don't stop
dojins.
at just fan art either. You can even spice up the game itself with some highly illegal third-party add-ons. Don't think the titty slider goes up quite far enough on the bunny rails? Got you covered. Wish your characters could dress off down to a little less than their underwear? You know it. Think Lala's
Oh my
could do
God.
with being a little more sexualized as opposed to just looking
Where can I
like
find those? I
potatoes?
want to read me too.
You motherfucker! Should you fap to Final Fantasy XIV? Yes.
Yeah. I like that video.